is here. This is the follow-up video after I made what I think is better, a Bach Mage or a Parry Mage. And I think it's the Parry Mage. This is my Mystic. Great character, great template. And as you can see, we're fighting outnumbered, so my good go-to is to go to a narrow way, throw flags, and hopefully bait somebody. But even not, it's a good spot to reload your spells and be able to get a turn on somebody. Like as you can see, we did on Shane here, and then I used my trigger to get the kill. That's something I wouldn't have been able to do on my other characters because they don't have spell trigger. Mystics are a great template. We sat out here just to kill Boris because we knew they were going to regroup, and for some reason they're silly and always like to go through the gate to go back into their house. So knowing that, it's pretty funny. Fighting outnumbered again, we go to the neighborhood. That's what we call this area here. And somebody is always dumb enough to get stuck. So we can whittle down the numbers and make the fight more even so we can just start mowing them over. Now, the Mystic Mage, you do want to have one on every team. You always want one for your composition, whether it be for the cleanse, the mass sleep, or pretty much, as I mentioned before, the spell plague is the most important reason. The reason why I make fun of people that use auto apple is 100% because of mystics, whether it be for the mass sleep and specifically timing it for when you need to use the apple, but mostly because when you're taking a sync and that spell plague hits you, you want to immediately apple or you're dead. Now as you can see, this is a combo I'm going to use against Kyrite, I think, right? And there was a bash in there, spell plague, and then small spells to proc the damage. I don't play a Mystic too often, so I actually forgot that I had my trigger and I could have just killed him right there, but oh well. So on to the next. This is how I built the character. Move forward. So this is my Mystic Mage. Every single one of my Parry Wrestle characters are going to have 45 hit chance. They all have 30 DCI. It looks like I kind of messed up my refinements a little bit on my suit, but still it's very playable. You do have to have this 20 spell damage increase, and the important thing is you have to have 20 swing speed increase and at least 90 stam. So let's see, if I drink my Dex potion, then curse myself, I'm still over 90 stam. Ideally, you probably want to have like 95, because when you run through somebody, you do lose 10 stam, and 5 regeneration, or the time it takes to regenerate 5 stam is way less, so you're more frequently swinging at max swing speed. That's also important for your shield bashes. Alright, so these are my skills. As 100 Magery is actually fine. You're not going to be casting any level 7 spells. You're going to be casting Spell Plague instead of Energy Bolt, and you'll be using either Grab Her or which is Cyclone, or the Hailstorm instead of Flame Strike. Alright, the 120 Mystic is non-negotiable, in my opinion. You have to have 120 Mystic. There are a few reasons, but the main one is because when you throw your trigger in a fight, you want to be able to get your trigger right back up. I see a lot of people try to hold on to their trigger for the right moment, and they just never end up throwing it. Well, it is better to use your trigger just at every occasion possible than not use it at all. I mean, try to still be selective. You want it to be, count for something, but also with 120 Mystic, you have a higher chance to stun them with that trigger, or with any bombard, honestly. So that's very beneficial. You'll probably see that for yourself if you take my word for it. Alright, now going over my jewels. This is probably my worst built character, and the reason why I say that is because my jewels, each one of them, only uses actually 7 mods each. While they're good jewels, I mean, I probably could have done better. It's just this template does require quite a bit of skill increase, and I didn't have any skill increase on the rest of my suit because I decided to build this with the lightning cuffs. I love the lightning cuffs on any Parry Bash Mage. It might make the suit easier or harder to build because the lightning cuffs fortunately do have the 3 fast cast recovery on it. This Mask of Call is, in my opinion, by far the best headpiece in the game, especially for, parry mages. Unfortunately, it's very ugly, but, you're just going to have to take that hit because there's nothing that really, settles for it or matches it. I'm using this talisman. I think this talisman sucks. I really shouldn't be. I mean, it might be even better just to go with the Mushroom's Apron that has EP on it and only 5 hit point increase and use the Slither. I mean, at least that would give me extra hit point regeneration, and I wouldn't need any hit point increase on any of my armor. Now that's the big bonus is, like in the Bach Mage video I mentioned, you have to have at least one piece with LRC on it, or one jewel with LRC. Well, you can kind of get away without having LRC on the jewels, but you probably still should. The reason why is because, like I said, none of your pieces of armor need the hit point increase. In my opinion, I think that the Lord Morpheus's Apollet is the best robe, and that's mostly because of the stam increase. As I mentioned in another video, stam increase counts as a hard stat. The reason why is because you only need 80 dex for your max parry chance, but you need the stam, over 90 stam, to swing max swing speed. So it counts as a hard stat. It's real important. Plus, obviously, the 10 swing speed is very crucial. And I think that covers everything about how this character is built. I mean, we could go over the shields, but this, like I said, is probably my worst built, and this is where my worst shield. I think the soul charge is huge for a character, for a parry mage, and the reason why this shield's not as good is because, well, parry mages have focus, so they gain their mana way quicker. Well, I hope you liked the video. I'll make my next video on, I believe, probably on my DP mage, and that's my best built character, and overall I think that's my best character in general. Alright, well, subscribe, like, whatever. Have a great day.